Good evening. Welcome to Cracks Talk TV interview show, whereby today we are going to look at the women empowerment in top leadership situations. In the previous 1 week, we have witnessed some historic events in as far as women leadership is concerned. Only last week, Friday, University of Nairobi students were able to elect the first female president in their history, in the name of Anne Mwangi Mvurya. And yesterday, we saw what happened in Sudan, whereby women led a revolution that led to the stepping down of the Sudanese President Hassan Omar al-Bashir. In our studios today, we are privileged to have with us Mount Kenya University Student Association Vice President, Ms. Casty Micheni. Thank you so much for joining us tonight. I believe you're having a good time. Okay, now, getting back to the business of the day, we also saw what happened in University of Nairobi last week, whereby the very first female president was elected to spearhead the agenda of University of Nairobi Students Association, UNSA, for the next financial year, that is 2019-2020. You, as a VP, what do you think that that particular move impacted in as far as women empowerment in top leadership is concerned?
Thank you so much for welcoming me here today. I think I first of all start by congratulating Anne Mvurya from the University of Nairobi for taking that position. It's something that we are happy and proud of as ladies, that when a lady is in position, we take them to a level of, yes, we are celebrating you, but now do the work for the comrades. Then it's something good and something enjoyable to see women at the top. But we are saying this is not the first time that we have had ladies at the top. We have ladies in different positions. We have ladies as CEOs in big companies. We have ladies in political arena, of course. We have ladies that we can look up to and say that, yes, they have done it. So I think it's a marriage for us ladies. But now that our lady there at the University of Nairobi has made it to that position, it is a reflection that even in other campuses, that ladies can fight for bigger positions and take these positions home or take these positions for themselves. That it is easy, and learn from that. That there were a lot that she went through, of course. She went through a lot and got to that position. The other day, I was watching her on Citizen TV, and she was talking about cyberbullying, something that when you get into the public domain or get to the public, it's something that, of course, people will come to you in extremes. But this does not mean that you get down or they pull you down. It's something that you should await as you get to the public domain as a student leader or any other position as a woman. Be ready for some things. So they should not fear. That is one thing I should say. We should not fear to get to bigger positions, and that is it. Anne has done it. I personally has gone through the same process. So there is no need of fearing these positions. Let's go for them. Let's fight for these positions like men too. We can do it.
Okay, yeah, still on that point, you have mentioned something to do that since it has happened in University of Nairobi, then it can happen in all institutions. Based on our case study in Mount Kenya University, for instance, for the past 9 years or so, we have only had male presidents. And in all those years, we have never had any single female aspirant, not even just contesting for the presidency position. If you yourself, you chose to go for the VP position, why not the presidency?
As a vice president, Mount Kenya University, I will say that once I decided to go for this position, I felt that there is a gap. There is a gap. I also wished that I would have gone for that position, but my dream took me to this position, vice president, because I felt that in that position, I will influence other ladies to get her to big positions. Maybe in the past, I don't know what really happened, but after testing this position, I feel re-energized to take my ladies to the next level. So I feel I have a urge to take my ladies to another step, probably after gesturing and seeing things and learning from this position. So probably it is not a thing of fearing. We are not fearing. But I felt, for instance, personally, I felt that there is a gap. And then I have to fill this gap, first of all, before I take maybe a step of either paving way for a lady, maybe probably to take a bigger position. So for me, I feel that after this position, then we should expect changes. Then now that I'm in position now, I know the gap. I know where is going, where the mess is, and now I can cover up for that. Then maybe next year, hopefully that we will have an aspirant for that docket. So it is not all about fear.
Okay,
I'll say that.
this gap that you saw, there was this gap. Why did you think that it was only the VP's position that could help you bring out this gap? Why not the top seat? But you chose otherwise. Okay, what was so unique in this VP position that made you to think that it can help you deliver on what you want with regardless to the presidency?
Now, somebody will say that when you go to the Romans, do as they do, such a word, that once you get to that position as a good leader, or let me just talk about myself. In the position now, where the vice president Docket has always been treated the name ladies, or other people will just make fun of it and say it is a position of flower girls. I just wanted to have the feeling of, one, let me just first of all get to that position. In that docket of what we call flower girls, what the comrades will call term as flower girl position, from that step, I'll be able to know what girls fear, what girls feel is best for them. I'll be able to interact with my girls, maybe in volumes, let me just say that. And in that position, then I can be able to maneuver or even learn why we have never gotten maybe a bigger position. But for now, I can just say that I have started learning. I know it is not hard to get to that big position. It's a little thing step that we need to empower ladies. That yes, it is possible. Maybe to some extent, we were not empowered to get to that big position. But now that I am in the position, one day I will be answerable. What did you do to that position? Number one thing, I need to work closely with our ladies. Now let us empower them. Let them feel that, yes, these positions are just easy to get. And the same way men will get these positions, then you can also get to these positions. So I just feel that our ladies need to be more empowered. In that position, I've learned that.
Okay, so we understand that in the Mount Kenya University Constitution, it stipulates that the office of the VP is the custodian of this constitution. Over the years, people have said that some of the reasons may be that most ladies have decided to go for the VP positions because there is a notion that has been spread that the VP position is for ladies, whereas the presidency for position is for gents. So if you can help us understand, is it really what it is in the constitution? And if not, then what are some of the strategies that your office has laid down so as to ensure that in the near future, students get to be educated on what the Constitution says and what should be done, in as far as the possibility of having a female president and maybe a gent as the vice president in Mount Kenya University?
Being a vice president and being a custodian of the Constitution, for that matter, it means that you're supposed to know what the Constitution states. I know the Constitution does not stipulate that every time we need a president in Mount Kenya University, it must be a man. It must be a gent. No. Anybody can go for that position. But there is a bit of whether if the president becomes a male, then the vice president automatically becomes a lady. So it is open. And let me just state that in Mount Kenya University, people don't know much about the Constitution. People are not aware about the Constitution. They don't know, they are not aware about the Constitution. That is one thing I'll just say. But in future, I'm thinking that in my capacity and the capacity of my office, that is, we can create awareness about the Constitution through forums. We can call for forums maybe some weeks or a month to elections. Let people know what the Constitution states. Let people learn that these positions are meant for everybody. Fight for these positions. And it is not closed for anybody. But the main thing and the main agenda, or the main issue, is empower our ladies. Let them go for these positions. That is the only thing I'll say.
Okay, in this current cabinet, we have 7 cabinet members, and you are the only lady within that in that cabinet. How can you say how's the heat always when you are attending cabinet meetings? Because you understand, being the only lady in the middle of 6 gents, how's the heat? How do you always feel in as far as when you meet for cabinet meetings and all other meetings that all of you are involved in?
I will say, sometimes it feels alone, and to some extent, I may have wished that we have another lady in the cabinet. But I will not again demean my people or my cabinet ministers. They are good, they are protective, and to some extent they listen to me. There is nothing of a notion of you are a lady, you're not gonna say anything to us. No, they don't do that. But to some extent, I feel that there is a gap in the cabinet, and constitutionally, the two-third gender rule, of course, where a lady representatives must be represented, as not picked. And I think, and I even hope that next time we will have a new image for the Mkusa Nini representation.
Okay, you have mentioned something to do with the two-third gender rule. And this subject has been going on in the national politics, most preferably in the National Assembly. So in Mount Kenya University, being that you have been in office for over, is it 2 months already? Yeah, almost 2 months. What are some of the strategies that you have laid down so as to ensure that in Mount Kenya University, they always say if you want to reach far, we should first start with the first step. As Mount Kenya University, what have you done in ensuring that that gender rule is being respected?
Kofi, one thing, you cannot create a position for somebody just like that. When the school maybe announces posts, then it means all gender should come out. I just want to appreciate many girls who are vying for different positions. We had ladies in different levels. We had a lady in sports who was vying in that docket. We also had a lady in Secretary General docket. We also had a lady in academic post. So I want to say we cannot. We have none in the presidency, of course, but we are going to check that in future. Now, I just want to say that they fought a good battle. That is what I will say. And even if you followed up, you get that the competition was stiff, and they were somewhere too. They are still leaders, we recognize them. The likes of Akina Sasha, there's a lady called Sasha. She had a very great influence to her team. We had the lady, the likes of Akina, was she Rubaby or something? And these girls took the MKU politics to another level. What I just want to say is that it was open for everybody, and they fought their own battle. We are generally strong, but there is something small that maybe went astray that they didn't get to this position. Remember, even in the docket of the vice president, I had 6 competitors, but I emerged the winner with a range of 20 votes only. I earned 80 votes, and my competitor earned 60 votes. So everybody was at their pace. But one thing I want to mention is the gender rule will come to place if ladies pull up their socks. That we don't need the country, we don't need the school, we don't need anybody to create for us these posts. We go for these posts like men, get into the field and do our best. I'm sure if you present the best, the world will feel you. If you present the best even in a school, then even the comrades will listen to you. So for me, it's a thing of let ladies get empowered at all levels. Let them go and fight their battles at all levels. For me, and to that gender rule, I feel that it may take us to a position where we feel like we are disabled. So for me, we get into the field, let's work smart.
In your tenure, there's this, should I call it an association or a forum which you came up with called WOSWA. If you can just, what was the idea behind WOSWA and what were some of the objectives that this group has in as far as the future of women in leadership is concerned?
Okay, thank you. I'll start by saying that WOSWA stands for Women Students Welfare Association. We started it last year, and the last semester last year. And one thing with WOSWA, I just want to make it clear, even to the students we have around, that WOSWA is a group that we felt should come in to empower our own ladies. We so much, and with WOSWA and the office of the vice president, felt that there is a gap. We are forgetting that our ladies are not involved in various activities. So we are here to empower each other, give our stories. And number two, and the most important thing, help our ladies get to the top and feel that they are appreciated at all levels. So, but when WOSWA came in, men came in extremes. And gents came in extremes and said that it looks like a group of activists has come along to fight us maybe, and forgetting about boy child. No, I want to make it clear that WOSWA is all about empowerment of ladies, and not to either sit on men and to oppress our gents. No, that is not the case. We are here to empower ladies and help them keep moving and involve them at all costs in all the activities that we have in school, and to ensure that they are not engaging in activities out of their minds, maybe thinking that they are going through hardship and others are not going through hardship. That you will go parade yourself for prostitution, thinking that people are not going through extremes also. So for me, starting the group meant mentorship and empowerment to ladies. That to some extent, you can give your story. That I've gone through a day without a meal, but I'm still a lady with integrity. That I am a lady without school fees, but, I am surviving. I hope you get that it's all about empowerment of ladies, that we are involving you, that you ladies can do better than you can believe. So WOSWA is all about mentorship and empowerment.
So still on that WOSWA point, earlier this week in a press conference, you mentioned something to do with the issue of issuance of sanitary towels to the women and the issue of this protection equipment, CDs, that most people use. Okay, looking at an initiative which WOSWA conducted in Mount Kenya University sometimes back in the Indo Arena, they were issuing free condoms to students. And in your statement, in a clip which we'll just play in a few minutes, we'll play the clip so that you hear what you said exactly. Yeah, my director is telling me that we have that clip. So let's first listen to that clip, then you will tell us what exactly you meant, the contradiction in your statement and what WOSWA is standing for.
When people say that CDs should be given maybe with a token and pads given freely, I think if pads were to be given, for me, I would request that we be given for free. Because this is a monthly affair. I think it's a monthly thing that happened to us ladies. Let the sanitary towels be free.
Okay, you have just seen that clip. So now if you can try and explain to us the contradiction between your statements and the activities of WOSWA in the previous month.
In WOSWA, we do activities. And as I said earlier, we do activities to engage our ladies. And I have explained why we engage our ladies to levels, especially in WOSWA. So distribution of CDs was one of the activities that we did, but it was not the last one. The last one we did was distribution of pads to the General Cargo School, a school that is next to our institution, Mount Kenya University. So we engage ladies. But it was a contradicting question about pads and sanitary towels. What should be given for free and what is not supposed to be given for free. I think there was a misunderstanding somewhere that we are saying both are important. That is my statement and that is my stand. But now, the CDs are given for free. And you know that. Me and you know that. But for the sanitary towels, we have them at a cost. And because I am asked about my opinion, then I'll give my opinion that both could come at no cost. And now because we are talking about the sanitary towels, then I feel that they should come at no cost. Because ours is a monthly affair, as I said. And even for the CDs, I'm saying they're important. Let there be no cost at all. Yeah.
Okay, so like for instance, in the institution so far, the office has come up with, has brought most into the institution to empower the ladies. Don't you think the gents will say like you are only working for the ladies and you are forgetting that you are the VP for the entire institution and not only for the ladies?
I want to get and borrow some words from my Secretary General, Oscar Corral. He said, men are already empowered. We need to see our ladies at the top. That statement was coming from a man and not a lady like me. What do I say? Then we have a go through with our WASWA thing. But one thing I'm saying is that I am a vice president for the all comrades. But the moment a group like this comes in Mount Kenya University, let people embrace such a thing. You don't have to bring politics in such a movement or in such a program that has started for our ladies. Because me and you know that our ladies need this a lot. Our ladies need more of empowerment than you do. Our ladies need to be told that you're going, go for those positions, you know. Our ladies need to be reminded that they are the best. And you should be supporting us as men. Gents in the old school should be supporting us as much as they can because they know. And that is why you're asking me the same question. Why didn't you go for the president post? They were how many? They were 4 or 5, but all of them men. But you're the same people who are asking why we have WASWA and not another group for men. Then you should be joking.
Away from the WASWA issue now, back to the students' situation in the institution. You have been in office for close to 2 months now, and we have had this policy that many students have been complaining about. First, the issue with fee policy. Secondly, the issue with the state of security within the institution. Like for example, your office. What are your office and the entire cabinet for the 2 months you have been in office? What can you say are some of the strategies you have laid so as to ensure that the cry of the people who sent you to office to represent them is being heard? For instance, you can find a situation where a student is locked outside school, yet at the end of the semester he or she is expected to get the fee before sitting for exams. So, and you will find that that person, while he is locked outside there, he does not attend classes. So the class attendance list remains low. So at the end of the semester he pays full fees, but the attendance is low. So he can't sit for exam. Why? Because the attendance is low. And what made him or her not to attend classes? Because he was locked outside. So looking at all these limitations of this fee policy, So what are some of the strategies that you and your team, as the entire cabinet, have laid so as to ensure this issue is handled and students are allowed to access the school facility and they are allowed to make use of the money that they pay as school fees?
I first of all want to attest that it is true that we are also tired and we are also feeling that the policies are way beyond our expectations. I personally feel that Mount Kenya University could have done something better than this, because we are getting students having as low as 1,000 bob, as low as 2,000 bob, but they cannot do the exams. Why? There are policies that have been laid, and we cannot go against policies. This is where people check, and it's like a constitution, you know. A policy is like a constitution that you cannot go against this. I'm not going to blame the entire institution, but I am going to blame whoever brought the policies. One is because something better can be done. Apart from locking students outside, maybe we can check another way of maybe getting school fees from the comrades rather than a closure or the time restriction thing. I believe when the gate was installed, it was for security purposes. But it has turned up to something else, time restriction, which is attached to school fee payment. I don't want to complain. I want us to come up with ideas. I want us to sit down and think of other ideas on how students can pay their school fees without the time restriction thing. I want to stand as part of the solution and not part of bringing contradictions. As a vice president with the other cabinet members, we are doing what we call a good research and maybe getting and gathering information even from students on how we can help in either changing the way things are. So it's a matter of diplomacy. Let us sit down, agree, talk, and then we can get solutions. I am a leader who believes in diplomacy. But once we have exhausted all the diplomacy ways, then we can think of something else. But I'm saying it's good that people can sit down and agree. And people can sit down and may either try to get other ways to get things done. So it will remain a thing of sitting down, talking, researching, and how we can do things best.
Okay. In the recent 3 months, for instance, in 2019, we have had so many cases of mostly youths, university youths and students being involved in some love triangles that ends up in either one of them being killed or one of them committing suicide or some nasty things happening at them. As a student leader, what can you say with regards to all these issues that we are seeing? What can be your advice to the students, and what do you think? Where do you think we went wrong? Who is not working in ensuring that all these issues are prevented from happening? Is it the society or is it us, SE, and the youth?
Yeah, I want to say it's something of a concern. It's an issue concerning everybody. But now that it's touching the institutions, everybody in the institution has a responsibility. Starting from the students, the staff, workers here, all the staffs, I mean, everybody is concerned. Now, when will people or when will students love themselves more? I want to get to a point where I'm saying, no, this is my point. I want to put it in such a way that it makes a lot of sense. That, Casty, you're going to love yourself more than anything else in the world before even giving somebody your heart. You know, it's a love issue that is disturbing everybody. That there is depression amongst the students. And I'm sure it is not students alone, even staffs. This is for real. You cannot explain how somebody does not love you, somebody does not give you, does not accord you the love that you're giving them, and you go ahead, kill yourself. Doesn't make sense. For me, I'll start by mentioning this, that you first of all love yourself more. Look at the beautiful things that the world can give you. Look at the beautiful things that the world has for you in future. That once a lady disowns you, that once a man disowns you, does not mean the end of the life. Doesn't mean that you're done. That once that single lady disowns you, that when that single man disowns you, doesn't mean he or she is the only person in the world. And they even feel that it is not happening just like that. People are living in depression. People don't speak out. There is one thing I believe speaking out heals. Sometimes you go through heartbreak, you don't talk about it to anybody. You fear, but you are not the only person who is going through this. So for me, in such an institution, because this thing is affecting students, that counseling camps be kept at strategic places. Let it not be a hidden agenda. Let it not be a hidden thing in an institution. That we have counseling camps at strategic places where people can sit down with somebody they can trust and give their story. It starts the healing process.
That issue of counseling camps, they should not be strategic in closed in some building somewhere in the institution. For example, Mount Kenya University. Since you came to office, how many counseling camps have we had within the institution? What do you have in mind? What does your office have so as to ensure you have more? Because I believe we have a counseling department in the university. So what can you say with regards to their functioning?
Okay. The counseling camps I'm talking about should be kept in strategic places. That is what I was saying. But now, I've not witnessed either a forum of the counseling, the one that you can have it neither on a student center ground where we have people talking with the counselors or something. But I have heard of a forum where they're dealing with drugs. They have activities where they walk around the institution premises, where the students are in the hostels, around the estates, around the school, where they go and talk about drug and drug abuse. But now, it is my role as a leader, now not even as a vice president, to lay an issue of counseling camps in the student committee. Student committee consists of the dean, the assistant dean, and the staffs around student center. So it is my role as a leader to lay this stuff. You know, everything is a process. You don't just say and it is done. It's something that is supposed to be pushed in. It's something that is supposed to be laid, and then the committee will check. And this is I am taking it as a role from today henceforth. That it is becoming serious, and it's a thing of concern to everybody. And I am hopeful that nobody is going to disagree with this. So I want to play my part, and it is my prayer. It is my prayer that even the staffs will play their part too.
Okay, now as you give your final comments, now that you're the VP of Kenya, guys, is this like a leeway to you maybe venturing in the national politics in the near future, or is this you're the VP and that's the end of it? You want to pursue politics in the near future?
Thank you so much. It's a good question. This is not my first time to become a leader, leading people, even in a different level. No. In my nursery school, I was a prefect, something that is funny but so important to me. In my class 8, I became the head girl in a primary school, head girl. And my Form 1 to Form 4, I was a prefect all through in Kwene Girls. It is a process. And then in coming to the university, not really, before I became the vice president Mount Kenya University, I became the vice chair, Meru Association. This one now gave me an opportunity to know Mount Kenya University. And now I'm serving as the vice president, Mount Kenya University. It is a process, and be assured it is not ending here. And to mention, before I get to the outside part, I have started an initiative back at home in my ward, Egoji West. It's called Inua Masomo Mashinani Initiative. I love education. And education is the only thing I believe can make a poor man or even a poor lady or a poor, I don't know who, from which part of the country or anywhere, sit down and dine with kings and queens. So for me, it's a process. I love education. I started that initiative. I believe I'm a leader. And be less assured that I love politics, but I'm a leader. I never like telling the world that I love politics, but I'm a leader. Once you become a leader, then hata ile siasa inakuja tu. So politics and in Kenya is a concern to me too, and becoming a leader in the outside world is coming, and I'm seeing it. It is in me. And 2022, 2027, be less assured, I am in the ballot. Yes.
All the best.
Thank you.
As you
Thank
go
you.
and
Thank you.
now face the big men outside there.
Yes.
Okay, so my director, my director is telling me that our time is up, but I can give you 60 seconds. Just give your final recap with regards to the issue of women empowerment in top leadership.
I am a woman, and I believe that ladies can get to the top. And I believe that if ladies embrace what they have in themselves, then whatever they want will come to reality. So Let women believe in themselves. I believed in myself. That is why I am here as a vice president, Mount Kenya University. And this is not enough. More is coming. But when I am rising, I will not rise alone. I have to all the other women with me. Let's rise together. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Thank you for joining us tonight, and that's where we wrap it up from Cracks Talk TV interview show. See you again next week, but let's keep the conversation going on online in the address going down on your screen right now. We'll see you again next week. Have a lovely night. I'm Coffee Brian.